Hey there, I'm the MadCatster. Am I glad to see you here? Well, some of you may have heard of the TikTok sensation, the pink sauce, and the latest controversy surrounding it regarding possible questions about food safety and other issues. And we're going to talk about the legal issues as well as what the controversy is. So let's get into it. So I'm here with Sybil the Enforcer as always. And she says, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We're trying to hit 16,000, so every little bit helps. So please like and subscribe. Sybil would appreciate it. I'd appreciate it. But anyway, so let's talk about what's going on with the pink sauce. So you may have heard of the pink sauce, which went viral on YouTube by a person named Chef Pie, I believe is how you pronounce it. And she created this pink sauce, and it went viral. And people started asking for it, so she created a company around it and started bottling it and started shipping it off, and apparently hadn't finished the whole process with the FDA approving her facility. So people were criticizing whether she was prematurely going forward with this and rushing to get this product out before it was safe to do so. So let's take a look at what some of the issues are. So you can see here in an article, she's saying, they accuse me of poisoning the nation. And she goes on to talk about how this has affected her mental health. She said, I've been to therapy, thank God. I've practiced healthy mental exercises. However, now it's affecting my children. I'm not tolerating it anymore. She said, I know I'm not doing anything wrong behind closed doors. They can't bully me. And then someone started a subreddit called Pink Sauce Snark. And so anyways, there's been some criticism heaped upon her. And someone also went to the FDA and asked the FDA for a comment. And this is what the FDA had to say. It says, when contacted by Motherboard, an FDA spokesperson repeatedly declined to give specifics about any contact it had had with Pi, nor any complaints the agency had received. And it said, as a general matter, food producers are required to follow current good manufacturing practices, an FDA spokesperson said. The FDA evaluates these practices to ensure that companies are in compliance, but ultimately, it is a company's responsibility to produce safe food. So, yes, that is correct, but the FDA does have guidelines, and in fact, I'm going to show you here what the rule is. So here you go. Here you'll see this says FDA registration, dressing and condiments. It says manufacturers of dressing and condiments require FDA food facility registration. Dressing and condiments include plain seasoning, sauces and spreads, olives, pickles, relishes, and dressings for salad. So, and then there's a long list you can see here of all the different things. And in my opinion, and from my understanding, that this is the category that the pink sauce would fall into. And so she's supposed to register her facility, and, you know, it's supposed to be compliant with certain food safety regulations. And what's happened is she's now put out a disclaimer and sort of an explanation. And what she said was, Dear Pink Sauce supporters, we are working to overcome all issues with the surrounding allegations and claims against the pink sauce. We want to take the time to ensure each customer's safety. We are working meticulously to ensure we have no further delays in shipment. We will be updating you on a daily basis. We ask our customers to remain supportive and patient, as this is temporary. Feel free to reach out by email if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you. Now, there was also some questioning about the labeling. So, you know, I took a look to see, you know, what is supposedly in pink sauce, and this is what is allegedly on the ingredient list. So this is what the ingredient list is for pink sauce. It says water, sunflower seed oil, raw honey, distilled vinegar, garlic, pitaya, aka dragon fruit, which is where it gets its pink color from, pink Himalayan sea salt, dried spices, lemon juice, milk, citric acid. Okay, so this was a reason why some people raised concerns, because there's milk in this, and also someone had said that they saw her making the sauce and that she was demonstrating it and she was using raw garlic, and there was some concern about, I guess, raw garlic can spawn botulism if it's not stored or transported properly. So then it came out and it says, why TikTok's pink sauce has some food safety experts worried. And it says the new viral condiment has sparked quite a conversation and concerns online. And so what they're talking about is there's some concerns about whether it was being shipped chilled or whether it was unchilled. You know, there had been people complaining that when they got their pink sauce, it had changed color in shipment, that it was bubbly inside, that when they opened it up, that, you know, some gas was released or, you know, burping. And so there was questions about how is this being packaged and how is it being shipped. There's concern because of, as you know, we've had this heat wave that's been going on, so it's been very hot. And Chef Pie is in Florida, where it's been especially hot. And so, you know, if she's shipping from Florida to places around the country, then, you know, there's got to be some checks and balances in terms of how it's being shipped. And I would guess that it should be shipped in some kind of refrigeration or with ice packs or dry ice or something to, even though it's not opened and even though it doesn't need to be refrigerated until it's opened, just like mayonnaise doesn't need to be refrigerated till open, it still has to be stored in a cool, dark place. So that's where the concern has come up, and that's why people are hypothesizing that the changes in color and the changes in texture, etc., are because it's getting too hot in shipment. So I mentioned to you that milk was one of the ingredients. So, you know, milk in general is pasteurized, which means it's like heat treated to kill any bad stuff in it, but that doesn't mean that it can't spoil in shipment. So there was also an article that appeared in Glamour where they talk about some other concerns, and this is what the article had to say, and I've highlighted some important parts. It says, the sauce's original label claimed to contain 444 servings, another angel number in a bottle. Apparently she has some spiritual or belief that, you know, certain numbers are good or better, so she's trying to, you know, stick within the parameters of these beliefs that she has. But they're saying that 444 servings is a mathematical impossibility. So basically the way she explained it was she had mistakenly said servings when she meant grams, which that would lead to 30 servings per bottle if it was 444 grams. I was talking about the concern is, given that pink sauce contains milk and relies primarily on natural preservatives, many worried whether it was safe to ship unrefrigerated. Shaw clarified that the sauce should be refrigerated after opening, but insisted that the product has been quality tested and the brand is following FDA standards, although the sauce is still undergoing lab testing, whatever that means. But it really doesn't answer the question. So even though she is using quality testing, that has nothing to do with once it leaves her and gets off into the shipping chain. Because, you know, we're going to talk about in a second, food product liability. You know, even though she sends it off and says it's in perfect condition, if it gets too warm in shipment, it's not the shippers who are going to be ultimately liable. It's going to be Chef Pie who's going to be liable. So she needs to be concerned about how it's being handled in shipping as well, because that's where the liability is going to come in, not just from what she's doing in her facility, but what happens to it when it's on the way to the consumer. So they posed a question. You might be wondering, is this legal? Per cottage food laws in Florida, where Shaw is based, cottage food laws means like small business type, you know, homegrown businesses. It says entrepreneurs using unlicensed kitchens can produce foods with a low risk of foodborne illness without a permit, as long as their sales do not exceed $250,000 annually. So you've got to love Florida. Okay, so if her sales are under $250,000, which I'm assuming being a startup, that's probably the case, she doesn't need to be permitted by the state. Well, that doesn't mean that there isn't going to be an issue with food quality or spoilage. So, you know, I'm just mystified why there's an exception, because it doesn't change the fact that they still need to follow proper procedures and it should be regulated. You know, I think that's ridiculous. You know, I think that anybody producing food that's sold direct to the consumer, unless it's like, you know, your neighborhood bake shop or a farm stand, but if you're manufacturing, bottling, and shipping a product, I don't care what your sales are, it should be regulated by the state to make sure that nothing is harmful in the product and nothing happens to the product in shipment that makes it harmful. So that just mystified me. So let's talk about product liability, which is really the real legal issue here. So hopefully, when Chef Pie created this business for the pink sauce, she consulted with an attorney and incorporated either as an LLC or as a corporation. I sure hope she did, because the reason for doing that is not just like for different tax reasons, etc., but if something happens and she gets sued, if she's not incorporated, there's nothing protecting her, and she would be directly liable. And so if somebody's sued because they got sick from eating this stuff, allegedly, and I'm not saying anybody has, I haven't heard of any confirmed cases. I know there's been rumors and allegations, but if somebody gets sick and they were to sue Chef Pie, if she's not incorporated, it's her personally that they're suing. So any of her assets, etc., is what would be the subject for damages in the lawsuit. So hopefully she's incorporated, which means the corporation would get sued. That provides a layer of protection for Chef Pie from any potential lawsuits. So, I mean, hopefully it doesn't come to that, and, I want to make it clear too that people shouldn't really be shitting on her. She's a startup. People make mistakes, hopefully things get corrected and sorted out so that nothing bad happens or anything serious happens. But, people have really been attacking her, and I don't think it's really fair. She's got to be given some leeway. I mean, granted, Florida's making it easy for her to do these things without any oversight. But she's just starting out. So people, please don't send her hate and attack her. This is an issue with the product. It's not something that she's personally done on purpose if there's an issue with the packaging or the shipping. So, don't hate on her personally. Let's let her get this sorted out. Hopefully no more product is, and my understanding is that she hasn't been shipping because she was trying to catch up or something in her facility. So hopefully all of it gets sorted out, that she makes a great success of this. Bully for her for starting a business that went viral and making the best of this venture. And I can fully understand why she was hurrying to get this out. Obviously, once it goes viral, if too much time passes and there's been a demand, that's going to disappear and her opportunity will be lost. Unlike the Ace family, she's hopefully doing the right thing and taking advantage of her opportunities and making the most out of them financially. So hopefully she's looking toward the long term and not just the short term. But this is a reason why when you start a business that deals with any kind of food product, you should get food product liability insurance, so that if you do get sued, the insurance company is the one that would pay out any claims. So this is what the recommendations are in terms of food product liability insurance. So here are the considerations when taking out a food product liability insurance policy, and these are the things she should be thinking about. And it says robust commercial liability policies should be adequately scaled to your food business potential liabilities. By assessing your current policies, you can determine whether your business may need additional coverage. So, in other words, she can scale her policy. She doesn't have to get like this mega huge coverage, but she should definitely get coverage that would allow for any liability for the amount of product that she's currently producing and shipping. And then she can scale it up from there. But she certainly should be incorporated, and she certainly should have product liability insurance for food products. And I sure hope that she does that. But anyways, like I said, don't hate on her for being an entrepreneur. Yes, she's made some mistakes, it sounds like, or allegedly made some mistakes. So let her get it sorted out. I'm sure she will. And I'm sure that some of this hate that's being sent her way is really unnecessary. So folks, please leave her be. Let her get this sorted out and deal with people who are knowledgeable about this and get her business operating smoothly and safely so that she can continue to ship that pink sauce and you can smother your delicacies in it. I saw her putting it on some like chicken fingers or something, and it's not for me personally, I don't think, although I haven't tasted it. If you've tasted it, let me know down in the comments. I'd be curious to know what it tastes like. So anyways, it's not for me, I don't think, but if somebody offered me a taste, I would probably taste it just to see what it tastes like. But that's about it for the story of the pink sauce to date. So let me know, did you hear about the pink sauce? Did you know about the pink sauce? Were you aware of the problems? Leave me some comments down below. Let me know if you've ordered it or tried it. I'd be curious. But anyways, so be on the lookout. As I said in my last video, I have my true crime video coming out that's about a killer in my own extended family that I stumbled across, and it's a very interesting case. And I went on location to film some of the footage at actual places, like the scene of the crime. At the time, they were selling the trial transcript with all the information about the case. And, you know, I don't know why it doesn't have any place in any of the lore and stuff that I read or watch. But anyways, it's a very interesting story, I promise you. So look out. I'll be sending out invitations to a live premiere that we can all chat while it plays. But thank you for joining me. Sybil went to her bed, but she says thank you. Please like and subscribe. And I want to thank, again, all of our supporters, your generosity. You guys are the best community on YouTube. Thank you for all the Amazon stuff that you guys send. Thank you for all of the products that you send us. The cats are in heaven. I'm extremely happy about it. Thank you to my Patreon patrons. Your monthly support means so much. It helps to defer the vet bills that I pay every month because, as I've explained before, they're ongoing. It's like $400 a month I pay to my veterinarian. Twice a month I make payment to him, and it's $400 total for the month. So that never changes because the cats have to go to the vet constantly. Thank you again to also the Patreon patrons. I'll be giving you a link through messaging. I'll be sending it through Patreon. So look out for that. I'm going to give you a sneak preview of the true crime video, and then we'll be doing a live premiere subsequent to that. But you guys, because you guys are Patreon patron members, I want to give you that as a special bonus to you guys. Thank you to my channel members. I love all of you. Thank you for the people that buy me coffee. That's the one thing that's for me, that's not for the cats. I appreciate you all. I love you all. And I hope you take care, and I will see you in the next one.
Pretty please. Subscribe, like, and hit the bell. I get a treat for every new sub. Thank you.